Mornings in Mumbai usually start in a rush. Fast local trains, lines of cars stopped at signals, and employees running outside big corporate offices. On one such morning, an old man in simple clothes slowly walked through this rushing world and stood in front of a big glass building. That building was the head office of the city's biggest IT company, Varma Tech Solutions. The old man's name was Shyamlal Verma. He was around 75 years old, his face full of wrinkles, but his eyes had a sparkle, like he was ready to tell a long story. He was wearing a white cotton dhoti and a blue kurta. His slippers were worn out, and he carried an old bag on his shoulder. He said to the guard standing outside the gate, "Son, I just need 2 minutes to talk to someone in the HR department." The guard looked him up and down and said without any hesitation, "Baba, you need an appointment to meet someone here. Maybe you're lost. If you want a job, go to the website." A receptionist sitting nearby laughed a little and added, "Uncle, people come here wearing suits, not carrying an old cloth bag like you." The guard smiled, closed the door, and said, "Let's go, Baba. This place is not for you." Shyamlal didn't say anything. There was no anger or complaint on his face, just a soft smile and a deep, calm look. He picked up his bag and slowly walked away in the same quiet manner. To the people around him, he looked like just an old, tired man whom the world had left behind. But what they didn't know was that the same man once had a dream about this very building. Years ago, when this place was just empty land, he and his son laid the foundation for this company. He worked day and night, raised funds, gave jobs to hundreds of young people, and dreamed of building a strong tech company. But then, his son Rohit died in a road accident. That accident broke him from the inside, and slowly, he handed over the company to others and quietly returned to his village. Time passed. Varma Tech became a multinational brand. But Shyamlal never came back to the city. Instead, he started teaching children in the village, helped build wells, and supported orphan kids. His heart was now in social service. Recently, he heard that the company had completely changed. Employees were under pressure, everything was about show-off, and respect was now based only on position or looks. Hearing this made him sad. He felt like this was no longer the same company he and his son had built. That's when he made a decision to go back there one more time. The very next day, a black BMW stopped in front of the same office. The driver opened the door and out stepped the same Shyamlal Verma. But this time, he was with 3 lawyers, a foreign auditor, and a board member of the company. He still wore his old clothes, no branded suit, no tie. The staff at the reception and security desk were stunned. The guard was the same, and so was the receptionist. Both their eyes widened in shame and shock as Shyamlal placed a file of documents in front of them. The documents clearly showed that 78% of Varma Tech shares were still under Shyamlal Verma's name. He was not just the founder, he was still the owner. A sudden emergency meeting was called in the conference room, with all senior management present. Everyone sat on their chairs, while Shyamlal stood before them. He didn't show anger or insult anyone. He said, "I didn't come here for revenge. I came to remind you that this company was built on kindness, not just on targets." The whole room was silent. Some people felt ashamed, some felt guilty, and some were thinking deeply for the first time. Shyamlal said that from today, the way employees are judged will change. It won't be just about numbers and meetings, but also about kindness, behavior, and teamwork. He announced a new idea called Silent Visitor Day. One day every month, a random visitor will come without notice, and the company will observe how they are treated. The guard who had stopped him the day before came to him crying and said, "Sir, I'm really sorry. I made a big mistake." He brought his resignation letter with him. Shyamlal smiled, held his hand, and said, "Son, I don't want your resignation. I just want to change in thinking. From today, you'll be my personal security assistant." That same evening, the company's website displayed a new vision statement. "We don't just build technology, we build humanity." That night, Shyamlal stood in his hotel balcony, looking at the city lights. He took out his son's photo from his pocket, kissed it, and said, "Son, now your company is walking again on your values." The next morning, he went to the same office again. Same clothes, same slow walk. But this time, there was a new sign at the gate. "First, see the human, then ask the name." The receptionist bowed and said namaste, and the guard smiled and opened the door. In the auditorium, all employees were present. Shyamlal walked to the microphone, but before speaking, he moved it aside. Then he said softly, "One day, we will all grow old. Will we still deserve respect? Or will people only see our position and clothes?" Sometimes what looks ordinary is the most special. What you didn't see in me yesterday was the most important thing, the right to be respected. The hall filled with applause. This is not just Shyamlal's story. It is the story of everyone who wants to protect real values in a world full of show-off. It teaches us that true leadership doesn't come from power, but from vision and humility.